So, understanding how a constructor actually works in Java is very simple. You can simply define it. And for that, let's take a class. Now, as we know that the name of the constructor is the same name as the name of a class, so let's copy it and simply put a print statement inside it. You can write whatever you want. Let's say call from the constructor of the class. So whenever you will create the object of your class, Java will send a call to this constructor. Ideally, it send a call to its default constructor, but now since you have defined it, it will send a call to your constructor. So we can see that whatever we have written inside the constructor has been executed. And as many times as you will create the object, each time for each and every new object, Java will send a call again and again to the constructor of your class. So now the question comes, what's the use of this parenthesis here? Because as we know that nothing is without a purpose in programming. Every single dot, every single semicolon has a purpose. So this parenthesis has some purpose too. Yes, you are right. This parenthesis is to pass some information to the constructor, which is what we call the parameters. And through those parameters, you can initialize the class variables, you can perform some logic, you can do whatever you want. So let's try. Now you will be wondering why we are defining another constructor, how the Java runtime will recognize that we are having the two different constructors because the names are same. So the Java runtime will recognize on the basis of this, the parameter list. When you will send a blank call, it will call your default constructor. When you pass certain value around it in the integer form, then it will call to this constructor. So let's see. But how I would know, I need to print it here. So the first line has executed the default constructor without any parameter. Second has executed the constructor with parameter. And it is by changing this parameter list, by changing the number of arguments, the sequence of argument, and the order of argument, we can do constructor overloading. So that's the whole idea behind the parameterized constructors and constructor overloading. Let's say now this second constructor takes certain different parameter. It takes an integer as a string. So here I'm passing one integer and a string. So we can see that Java will call all your constructor in the order in which you have invoked them, that is, in the order in which you have created the object and you have decided which one to call by passing the parameters. That's it. Now the question is, we said that constructor is to initialize the class variable. So we are not doing that here. How we'll do that? Let's say I have a class variable called integer and name. Uh, let's make it value again. And I want to initialize these two variables using the constructor. So if I'll use this constructor for this purpose, then a problem will come. I have written the parameters with the same name as the name of the class variable. So how the Java will recognize that I'm passing this parameter to this class variable because their names are same. So one way is that you keep the different name, but the another way is that if the condition is that you can't keep the different name, then use the this keyword. So that is where the use of this keyword comes. If you want to see it, let's try. And I can call those variables from here too. If they are defined at the class level, then I can call them from anywhere with the help of the object. So that's it. We have seen how the default constructor works, then we have seen what is a parameterized constructor, and then we can see that by changing the parameter list, the order, the sequence, and the types of parameter, we can do constructor overloading.